Welcome to the Better Banking Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Foster, and running the show in the control booth is Producer Rune. How's it going today, Producer Rune?
Oh, everything's fine except for this herd of cattle. No, those are goats. Apparently, the control room is a major migration route for goats this time of year.
Thanks, Rune. It's always got something going on in there. The Better Banking Podcast is a show created by Gain Federal Credit Union. Now, Gain believes everyone ought to have access to fair and honest banking services, and Gain has a commitment to sharing our financial knowledge for your financial advantage. Now, as I've said, I'm not the expert, but I know the experts, and we're going to bring you the experts to help you manage your money better with useful information and resources. We're also going to share our insights on how credit unions work and how they're different from banks. Let's get started. We're going to be speaking with the Independent Advantage team at Gain Federal Credit Union. And for those of you who don't know what Independent Advantage is, it's our money management program for teens. That's right. We've been doing this for we've been doing this for over 20 years. I was going to say nearly 2 decades, but over 20 years now. And this money management program for teens has been an astounding success and actually has won awards in the past. We have with us today 2 members of the IA team. We have Jasmine Dixon and Laurie Krattiger. Welcome to the podcast, ladies.
Hey, thank you.
Laurie, Jasmine, great to see both of you. I'd like to introduce you folks to the listening audience. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at the credit union? Jasmine, why don't you go first?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Jasmine Dixon. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I've lived there all my life, and I started working at the credit union about 3 years ago. I actually reached my 3-year mark. It's really exciting. I've just grown a lot to see how the company is moving. And right now, I'm currently the Community Education Program Coordinator, which has been really awesome to get the opportunity to really see the credit union in a different light. So I love it. I love this new position.
And did you start as a teller?
I did. I started as a teller. I was a teller for a year, and then I moved up to our call center, was at the call center for a year, and then I got into this position.
See, that's what happens, folks. Our tellers get promoted up and up and up, and then everyone goes, "Where's my favorite teller?"
Yeah, they're like, "Where'd you go?" And I'm like, I had to move up.
And we're going to talk about what you're doing new in just a moment. We also want to say hi to Laurie Krattiger.
Hi there, I'm Laurie Krattiger, and I'm born and raised here in Burbank. I've lived here for 54 years. I went to Burbank schools. I went to Horseman Elementary, John Muir, and Burbank High School.
Did you graduate any of them?
I did, all of them. So I've been with the credit union for almost 21 years now, which is awesome. I was a financial analyst for 21 years. This past year, I have moved over to the Community Education Program Coordinator, which I'm very thankful for. It's very rewarding to me because I'm helping teenagers learning how to do life skills so they don't have credit problems growing up. So that really makes me feel happy.
And that's a terrific endeavor. Why don't we talk about the Independent Advantage program? Because there might be people who haven't heard about it, and there might be people who have heard about it but aren't quite sure what it is. Jasmine, tell us about the Independent Advantage class.
So the Independent Advantage class is a 4-week program where we offer students financial literacy. So we go over a multitude of things. We have them introduced to checking account basics the first night, and then the second night we walk into budgeting. So we teach them how to set goals. And then our third night, we have our credit and loans class, and that's where we'll have a department expert come in and teach on that. And our last night is all hands-on electronic access. They get to get a debit card, use the ATM, and learn how to log into mobile banking.
I know there are some institutions that have seminars. There are also some financial institutions and credit unions that have specific apps used to educate in this case, teens, usually 14 to 18-year-olds. But how does our program differ, and how does it actually work?
What differs from the other credit unions, financial institutions, we have our kids come in, we make it very open with the kids, we feed them dinner, and we really get them to engage with us.
So this is an in-person class, in-person instruction, and you and Jasmine lead the class and the lesson plan?
Yes.
Along with field specialists. So we'll have, like, for instance, tonight we have our budgeting class, and we have a teller coming in, and she's going to step in and speak more on like how to budget and things like that. And then also for credit and lending, that class, we also have Yvonne from our collections department coming in and teaching that. So we have department specialists that come in and speak so that they can actually speak on their experience, so the students are aware, like, oh, this is real life. These are not just teachers teaching this and sharing this information. No, these are actual people in the field who are experiencing these different things and can speak on real life experiences.
They're the experts that are employed here at the credit union, and then they come in and talk to the students in your class.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrific. Now, I also know that we offer a virtual program. Tell us about that and how that works.
Well, when COVID hit, we did not have a virtual class. So we kind of not scrambled or anything. We're like, okay, we got to get these kids still learning on, financial literacy. So we did develop our virtual class, and we're like, oh my gosh, okay, we can do this. And actually, it turned out really good.
Did you know that GAIN members have access to nearly 30,000 full-service, surcharge-free ATM locations throughout the nation? That includes 5,500 7-Elevens and over 300 Costcos. And it's all thanks to the Co-op network of ATMs. Look for the Co-op logo or find ATMs on our website. You can even text to find an ATM. To know more, visit gainfcu.com/locations. GAIN Federal Credit Union is insured by the NCUA and an equal housing lender.
Independent Advantage, it's a money management program for teens. We do it right here at GAIN Federal Credit Union. Jasmine, walk us through the first night experience of the student who comes in for the class.
Yeah. So the first night, the students come in, they check in, and we have pre-made packets for them sent out. So we have forms or membership applications. So they'll hand in the paperwork, and then we'll check them in. We'll give them a raffle ticket. And then once they sit down, we'll start giving them food and taking them up row by row to offer them their food.
There's food? What's the food?
Yes. The first
What's
night,
on
it's
the menu?
pizza.
Oh, okay.
It's pizza.
Terrific.
Right. There's pizza. So once we get them all energized and all fed, we usually will start the lesson plan for checking account basics, withdrawals, deposits, what an ATM machine is.
Do you teach them about the, how to use the checkbook, the register?
So it's funny because I really had to learn how to balance a checkbook because I've never done it in my life, but it's a great way to stay organized.
Perfect. What happens on night 2? It sounds like they've got everything covered with the checkbook. So what possibly more could there be to teach the students? Laurie?
Our menu for the day is Taco Bell, and the kids will love it. All right. They're like,
First pizza, now Taco Bell?
Taco
Man.
Bell. Right. So that night we talk about budgeting, and, we show them how to do a budget, how to do short and long-term goals, which is really great.
How do you teach a student budgeting? What type of an example can you give us for budgeting for a teenager?
We have sample budgets of, let's say, Eric's greasy burger joint, and he gets paid $600, and then we do our variable expenses and our fixed expenses, where we explain what fixed are, that we tell them you got to pay these first, and then you have your variable expenses, where it could be like your cell phone or your food, your clothing and all that. And then we're going to have $50 for clothing, and we're going to have $100 for food. We give them real life expenses. Your car insurance went up, or you have a flat tire. So we always plan for an emergency. Make sure that you have a savings in case for those unexpected items. And so we just go through scenarios with them.
So what is a short-term budget item versus a long-term budget item?
They want to buy a pair of shoes for $80. Mm-hmm. So what they would do, okay, we're going to spend, save $20 a week. And that's a realistic goal. If they have a part-time job or if they're babysitting or whatever, they can get that.
Okay, so we've had pizza the first night. We know how to balance our checkbook. The second night, we get Taco Bell, and we know how to budget and save for short-term goals or a long-term goal. There can't be anything else to financial literacy. These kids have got it all figured out by now, right? Or is there more on the third night, Jasmine?
Yes, there is. There's definitely more. And with more information comes better food. So we have Panda the third night.
Oh my gosh.
And with Panda comes Yvonne.
And what does she speak to the students about?
Credit, lending, and borrowing. We talk to the kids about credit score. They don't know anything about credit. You pay your bills on time, you're going to have a great credit skill. And then we also we talk about credit reports. We show them a good credit report and a bad credit report.
I hope it's not mine.
No, and then we go through, rates. If you have bad credit, you think that you're going to pay more interest. If you have, good credit, you're going to save with a lower interest. And then Yvonne talks about identity theft. We talk about all the different platforms that, fraud is going on through Instagram, through TikTok, through Facebook.
And fraud prevention is so important.
Yeah.
And so the fourth night, as you alluded to, is that both of you presenting as well? What else occurs on that fourth night?
Jasmine, do you want to give them the honors what we serve the kids?
Oh, that's right. There's
we
dinner
give them
again?
In and Out.
Wait a minute.
Yes, In and Out.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
I get the burger too.
So after we've had our hamburgers, what is the lesson plan? What is the topic for the fourth night?
So the topic for the fourth night is electronic access, which we take what they've learned in the last 3 weeks and we put into one night. So we take them in stations that night.
And what are these stations for?
So these stations are for different learning points. So one station that they'll be in the room and they'll learn how to locate ATMs, how to find ATMs around them. We also teach them in another station how to enroll into online and mobile banking. So we get them enrolled, get set up for e-statements. We teach them what it looks like and all the features of the mobile banking. So we show them how to transfer money from savings to checking, teach them where you could take a picture of a check. If any of them have jobs, this is where they could take a picture. Then we have another station where we have them activate. So they go through the teller line and they sit with the teller and they activate their debit cards and they set their PIN with the teller. And then they'll be escorted outside to a representative at the ATMs and learn how to use the ATM machine.
I got to believe after 4 weeks with all the information they've received, the knowledge they've received, and then learning how to access their account, I bet they know a lot more than some of their parents know.
Yeah, honestly, I think the best part about it is that even though maybe it's not something that sticks with them right now, but we give them packets every week. So even though it's something that, they might not hold on to, they can always reference back to.
So how does a student sign up for the class? Because this sounds great, but how do they enroll?
Well, Eric, I'm glad you asked because all you have to do is go to independentadvantage.org and sign up. It has a schedule. We offer the class 8 months out of the year, so they can pick what's going to be convenient for them and sign up and get on board with us.
So that's at independentadvantage.org. That's also accessible at the gainfcu.com site. As a parent, I'm thinking, boy, that's pretty good. The class time is about 2 hours. I get 2 hours off a night as a parent because my kid's going to have dinner at the credit union and learn some good information. How do the parents feel about the program? What do the parents say to you folks?
Well, the parents love it. I mean, they come, I live in Burbank too. So even when I'm out on the weekends, I'll have parents of the students come up to me and said, that Independent Advantage program that you guys are putting on is so useful to our youth right now. They don't teach it in school like they used to when I grew up. So they love it.
Excellent. Jasmine?
They're just really thankful and grateful that we even have a program because they always go back to how they didn't have anything like this offered for them when they were their kids' age.
Well, that's a lot of great information on a service that the credit union offers, Independent Advantage. Jasmine Dixon, Laurie Krattiger, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, thank you.
And that'll do it for today's episode. Please send your comments and questions to podcast@gainfcu.com. And I'd like to thank our guests from the Better Banking Class for Teens, Independent Advantage, Laurie and Jasmine. Excellent job. Thank you. And of course, an excellent job and thank you to Producer Rune. How's it going there, Producer Rune, in the control room?
Everything is fine, except I'm afraid of clowns.
Thank you, Rune. Please join us again because there's a lot more to gain.
The views and opinions expressed by hosts and guests of the Better Banking Podcast are not those of Gain Federal Credit Union. Gain Federal Credit Union is insured by the NCUA and an equal housing lender. NMLS number 407810.